Federal employees have something new to worry about here in Washington. Elon Musk, who was selected by Donald Trump to find areas to cut in the government, is going after individual workers in a very public way, shaming them.
Elon Musk is shaking up Washington, and this clip dives right into his latest move, publicly calling out federal employees to combat what he calls government waste. That's a nice way of putting it. It's fiery, polarizing, and has everyone from CNN correspondents to strategists throwing in their takes. The stakes? High. Government jobs, public safety, and Musk's growing influence collide here. We'll break this down, critique every argument, and spotlight the power plays happening beneath the surface. This one includes hot takes, hypocrisy, and some uncomfortable truths.
What can you tell us?
Yeah, I think that there is bipartisan support, even amongst some federal workers, to try and streamline and make the government more efficient. And federal employees are aware that there's likely going to be a lot of job cuts. But this is something that's really scaring them. And that is that Elon Musk reposted several posts from other users that revealed the private names of 4 women who are working in climate-related jobs in the government. Now, one of the posts says, "I don't think the U.S. taxpayer should pay for the employment of a director of climate diversification."
Musk kicks off slamming fake jobs, which sure might rile up his base. But hold up. Why single out climate workers? It's a strategic move to fuel anti-regulation sentiment, but reeks of bad faith targeting. If efficiency is the goal, where's the talk about defense overspending or bloated contractor budgets? Musk's argument feels cherry-picked and divisive.
Musk then reposted that post and said, "So many fake jobs." Now, the information that was posted is from a publicly available database on government employees, and it does not reveal phone numbers or addresses or anything like that. But these people who were revealed, these are otherwise sort of relatively unknown government employees.
Calling these workers unknown is a cop-out. The reporter tries to downplay the impact of Elon's posts, but let's be real, being blasted to 100 million followers is a big deal. It's easy to argue it's not doxing because it's public info, but let's not pretend this isn't about creating fear. Elon's influence weaponizes transparency into a strategic move in his favor.
None of them have public-facing jobs as spokespeople or anything like that. So, by the richest man in the world, close confidant of the president-elect, essentially putting their names on blast, for many federal employees, this really scares them that Elon Musk's legions of fans will now be going after them personally, because he has done this before to other people who he feels are standing in his way. And those people have had death threats. They've had to leave their homes. They've been fearful for their lives as a result of being targeted by Elon Musk.
This is where it gets dangerous. By amplifying names to millions of followers, Musk isn't just calling out inefficiency, he's creating fear. His defenders might argue it's about accountability, but accountability for what exactly? These employees aren't policymakers, they're administrators. Blaming them for systemic waste is like blaming cashiers for corporate pricing decisions. This tactic doesn't just threaten lives, it discourages talented people from public service altogether. Who benefits from a government that's afraid to function? Not taxpayers, that's for sure.
Now, we did reach out to Vivek Ramaswamy, who is also part of this effort, this Department of Government Efficiency, and he didn't speak directly to whether it was appropriate to single out these individuals, but he did say our opponent is not any particular individual. Our opponent is the bureaucracy.
Classic buzzword alert. The term bureaucracy is a political punching bag, but it is intentionally vague. What's the plan beyond layoffs? If cutting jobs is the answer, Musk and his allies better have an actual strategy for efficiency. Otherwise, it's just posturing for headlines. Musk is throwing punches without offering solutions. I think the government definitely has opportunity to become more efficient, and for sure, there's overlap in what some of these departments and maybe federal employees do. But it's easy to say we're going to cut federal jobs, but how are you going to restructure to account for those cuts?
Doxing is publishing private information, which the previous reporter you just had on also acknowledged that. I wouldn't go this route, though. I think you can fulfill your objective by removing many of these offices, closing down various departments. If
their goal without necessarily naming people.
This is not how you do that, right? This is not how you go about making the government more efficient.
Finally, a little bit of sense. She nails it. Public shaming doesn't solve inefficiency. Elon's tactics scream tech bro bravado, not leadership. For a guy who runs companies that rely on federal subsidies, the irony is thick. Maybe start by cleaning up your own house, Elon.
This is how you go about injecting fear and, frankly, provoking violence against these workers.
I mean, Shamaika, are you worried about some of the people who are coming into some very important roles in the new Trump administration?
No, I'm not. When you win elections, you have the obligation to choose who you want.
Sure, Michael Singleton defends Trump's team picks, but let's be honest, this is a dodge. The conversation shifts from Musk's cyber attacks to Trump's appointments, conveniently avoiding the issue. It's a slick pivot, but undermines the real problem. This isn't just about political appointments, it's about fostering distrust in public institutions. This clip showcases Elon's strategic chaos. By spotlighting individual government workers, he taps into anti-bureaucracy sentiment but crosses ethical lines, creating a chilling effect on public servants. Meanwhile, the discussion reveals a partisan split in accountability. Republicans argue for results-driven governance, that's fair, while Democrats point to the real risks of cyber harassment and fear-mongering. Elon's moves are bold, but they also expose the hypocrisy and tribalism in how both sides approach government reform. Love him or hate him, he's reshaping the debate, though not without collateral damage.